Hey Freunde, today I'm gonna bring you guys along on set of the Insta360 X4 launch video project. Here we go. This is an international production and I took care of the parts in Germany, Austria and Portugal. So why do we choose this location? Well, we needed snow in April. Me and Yuzi, we are based in Berlin, so we decided to drove there with all our equipment and meet up with the talents, Scardy and Mike. Of course, we ran immediately into the police. They were checking the motorcycles, see if they're street legal, but fortunately at the end it all worked out fine. We attached the X4 on the front handlebar and started to immediately capture some epic motorcycle content. Then there's also the possibility to mount it onto the chest with a chest mount to get some sick POV shots, and also mount it to the rear to get some video game-like shots. To be more efficient, we mounted on both talents' action cameras, having them shooting simultaneously and separately. While one of them sets off, the other one comes back and I can check playback. Up next, the more difficult shots while riding and driving. The Mercedes van we had allowed us to open the window in the back. Where I was strapped in, I could safely direct and film. Communication was done through Apple AirPods, and here we wanted to showcase the capability of the X4 camera to connect to wireless intercom systems such as Cardo and Sena. We saved up a lot of time because we didn't need to set up complicated car rig setups. Instead, I just used the gimbal flipped upside down and as low as possible to the ground to get my shots with ease. Camera-wise, I was using the Sony a7S III, a camera I dislike a lot, but also love because it's so convenient for these kind of fast-paced projects. I equipped it with an external monitor to spot dust particles quick, since its camera sensor is also a dust magnet. On the side, I had my camera assistant Yuzi helping me with reflectors to get the lighting right, so we can see the product clearly. Then we need to shoot some specific new features of the camera, like the removable lens guards. There are standard and premium lens guards. Also, you need to go into the menu settings to make sure you have selected the right one. These are pretty useful when there's gravel flying towards the lens, like in this clip. A great spot is crucial when filming these kind of shots. In this parking zone, we could place our talents safely away from the street, but also having the impression being on the street visually. Here we're filming the X4's dashcam mode setup. Even with a simple shot like this, make sure to not underestimate and have people giving cues so the talent can ride off safely. By panning into different directions, I could get several backgrounds, making this spot look like 3 different spots, saving a lot of time on site. And lastly, we filmed some social media content for the talents as well. In comparison to the previous X3, this X4 shoots 8K, an image quality boost I can definitely notice. Then I continued to the next location, Madeira. On this shoot I was the video producer, the director/cinematographer was French shooter, and the talents were Colin and Marie, and also the camera assistant Emilia. Now imagine everything was already set and prepped, but now I was heading to the airport and received these messages all at once. Smoke was in the talent's plane, resulting to cancellation of flight. The weather was extremely bad and the boat I booked got damaged and we don't have another option yet. So yeah, basically that left me such a short time window to solve all those issues at once. But yeah, now I don't even have the time to react and I need to get onto the plane to arrive at Madeira as soon as possible. Fortunately, I received a message that the talents still made it and tomorrow's first scene is a jeep, so I'm quickly contacting the guy to make sure he is flexible and can try to avoid a bit the weather. And on the other side with the broken boat, I tried to let them help me to come up with a second solution immediately. Day 1. Filming with this jeep was a lot of fun. Thanks to Ricardo, this amazing professional guide, he could help us to avoid the bad weather zones and get into some better spots where we still had some blue sky in the background to still get some really nice shots. This was a great opportunity to test out the bullet time effect of the X4. This is always fun to do. So on day 2 we have to change to shoot some hiking parts instead. So on the way to the top, it's important that we always see how the clouds are moving, and here in this case it was good that we stopped once in a while when we found a good part and immediately captured some footage, because you never know when the next waves of clouds are gonna come in. Here you can see me, I'm using the iPad mini and I have all the shot lists on there and the shooting requirements, just making sure that we hit and tick off all the shots. This communication between director and producer is very important, so we have a good overview of how much workload is still ahead and if we got the must-have shots. With these kind of shoots, it's also crucial to get some photos as well, so I also took some photos. One great tip is it's important to frame it in a way that the product really stands out immediately and is not mixed with the background. Then of course we had to also put the X4 onto an FPV drone. Unfortunately we crashed one of the drones with the X4 on it, so if you want a free X4 feel free to find this in this area, but we gave up after an hour's search because when it got dark it was really hard to find the way back from down there back to our main spot. Alright, finally I received good news and next day we could actually shoot the boat. When you get the boat, the bigger the better, because you can hide the crew inside the boat while you film, for example, outside with the talents. Especially with 360 content shoot, you cannot really be out of the picture that easily. So this boat in this case helped us a lot. Great thing here with 360 camera is that you never miss a moment. It captures everything like the dolphins here. Especially when traveling, you want to concentrate on your experience and not doing complicated camera setups. But then later I got so seasick while the team was gathering some really amazing product shots and underwater shots. Okay, and next day we're shooting some epic mountain bike. With these kind of shoot, you always have to plan that you need a lot of time to actually get to the location. Once arrived, we still had to get off the car and hike to the spot. But as we can see, even here it's also worth it. The location looks so epic right at the cliff. In this section, we wanted to show how the camera is different than traditional action cameras. So usually when we use a traditional action camera and film, it's mostly what we see, but we don't necessarily see ourselves. But with this 360 camera, it's like as if you have a friend next to you, filming you from a third perspective, capturing all the amazing moments that you have. So here for the mountain bike rider, we attached a X4 with a unicorn mount on his helmet and the results were amazing. And last stop, we're in Berlin shooting the BMW Motor Wheel part. So for this one, we need to make sure that we have no technical issues because we only have a short time window here. This is a scene where a representative of Insta360, Adam, is going to explain the camera's new features and how it helps the motorcycle community. It's going to be a long take and a walk and talk. So we have for cam A red Komodo on a free-flying Movi Pro gimbal. And for the B cam, we have a red Scarlett W as a kind of handheld mode or ready on sticks and slider mode. So we can get some additional B-rolls if needed. Because you never know in the edit, if you still need to tweak something, you can at least hide the cuts with these B-rolls. For the sound, we went for a full setup. Here it's a Tascam DR70D mixer paired with a Sennheiser Evolution and Sony wireless lavalier set. And additionally, we also record a backup track with the Sennheiser 416 industry standard shotgun mic. And lighting wise, we had the help of the natural light coming in from the right window. But some of the parts where our protagonist is going to be more in the shadowy area, we have two tube lights from Aperture to fill in a bit. These Aperture MRM PT4C lights are just amazing. They're lightweight, simple to use, and you also have so many great mounting options with these. Here we can also see that I'm using again the Magic Carpet slider from Syrup, and in combination with a Benro BV10 tripod, and this just works so flawlessly even with a heavier payload setup like the Red Scar W. For this, of course, we could have also went for a Sony a7S III and a Rode Wireless Go 2 setup on a gimbal. But you always have to remember it depends on the project. When projects especially get bigger, you cannot allow any mistakes. Therefore, you have to secure yourself in every direction. With this one, we're shooting in Red RAW codec. So in post, if we did make a mistake, we can very easily go into the settings, change the exposure or the white balance with ease. For sound, we have multiple lavalier setups that we can use, so if one doesn't work, we can quickly switch to another one. And also, you cannot always rely on autofocus. The Sony a7S III autofocus is really good, but sometimes it can introduce some focus hunting. So to avoid these kind of things, it's better to also have a focus puller on set holding focus manually the entire time. This ensures we don't encounter any problems on sets like these. Alright, hope this behind the scenes can provide more insights and interesting perspectives onto difficult video project shoots like these ones. If you want to see more awesome content like this, don't forget to subscribe. Bis zum nächsten Mal, see you next time, bye bye!